everybody, I got the Ironclad edition of Expeditions, the new game from Jamie Stonemaier, of the fantastic Stonemaier Games. And, you know, these metal things are just fantastic, but I couldn't help myself. I had to paint them. So I'm going to show you how to paint 3 of the 5 mechs, and we'll come back and do another video and do the other 2. But I want to kind of get them ready so I can paint them and do a live solo playthrough with them painted, of course. So without further ado, let's go down to the table and see how I got these guys all painted up and how you paint metal. Okay, so the first thing that I did here is I went over with a heavy wash and a little gray just to kind of wash out and kind of give myself a base for the base. And then also I took a Steel Legion drab and I did the decks here and here for these. My thing is I just want to really kind of make each one stand out. I was taking a look at the art. They're absolutely beautiful. I mean, as you can see right here, it's perfect. It's just I look at the art and I think they're a little bit darker, and I do like the metal, and I just felt that I could paint it and do a little bit more with it. As you can see, here's that one right there. I mean, you could leave it alone and it'd be fine. This one here, I see how dark it is right there. I don't want to wash out my board here with my brush, but if you see how dark that is, what I did is I took some Basilicum Gray contrast and I went over the entire model, really darken it up. And then maybe I'll just kind of dry brush it out a little bit and just highlight a little bit of the areas. The real selling point is if I do these bases correctly, that they can really look pretty nice and just add to it. The one I want to do is this is my ship right here. This is my jam right here. I really like this Viking ship. So what I'm going to attempt to do here is try to recreate the picture as much as possible. I want to darken this down. I have the deck there, but it has like a red hull there, so I want to work that in there, and then I want to make it look like this thing's coming out of the sea. So that's what we're really going to concentrate on today. Now the first thing I want to do here is I want to take some Dawnstone, which is a very dark gray. Is it Dawnstone? I want to show you guys. No, it's a Skaven Blight Dinge. Sorry for about that. A nice dark gray. And what I want to do is just kind of go over, because it has this gray look to it, the ship. That grayish metallic, you know, very old ship. And what I'm doing is just doing the top half here, and I'm just going over it. The best thing about this is metal. If I wanted to, it's acrylic. It'd come off before I seal it if I don't like what I'm doing. So you can always just scrub it off, and that's how easy it is. And you know, you could very simply just take these, and if you really wanted to, just take a very nice dark wash and go over them, and you'll get the same effect. I believe they're washed already when you get them. That's why it's so easy to kind of throw this first layer of paint on here. And while I'm doing that, I always kind of just work here. I'm going to leave the metallic legs the way they are. I want them to kind of pop out and be a little bit different. The only thing I may do is these plates here, and just do that, and just add that little bit of gray there. And I just think it goes with that. That art is just so phenomenal. Again, I would love to tell you about this game. I can't. I'm going to be doing a playthrough on it. But I will tell you this much. There's a moratorium on any kind of review, so I cannot say anything about this right now. But I promise you, on June 13th, you'll be hearing from me. And I'll give you my thoughts on what's the skinny on this, along with everybody else. Everybody can't review it until then, but everybody's playing it, and we'll let you know how it turns out. Okay, and that's the best way I can tell you. All right, so again here, just getting that and really letting that sit there. All right, so I'm gonna let that dry for a minute, and then we'll come back to it. Now this one here, I want to kind of mix it up a little bit here. because if you look, it's very, very dark gray, and the art on this is just tremendous. Okay, saying the art's good is not saying the game's good. Okay, so I can't get in trouble for that. But I really want to darken this up, and I have an idea what I want to do. I do want to leave the guns with a certain metallic feel to it, so I'm going to take some of that Skaven dinge and kind of go over everything here. As you can see, I put a little brown platform there. I want to leave that there, okay? And I want to make everything kind of dusty, not dusty, but this very old school feel to it. And just by going over this with the gray, it really stands out. I'm going to go over these plates here, but I'm not going to go over the feet. I want them to have that metallic, and I want that hook to have that metallic, because I'm going to add a little brass in there. I think brass will give it a little flavor, and I think that'll be nice. I mean, these are just, I can say it, I mean, these are just beautiful, beautiful sculpts from a very brilliant mind. I will tell you that much. Very, very brilliant mind. All right, so let's just go under here. Here, I want to go over this a little bit, over this a little bit, over that a little bit. And I'm only going to do 3 of these today because I want to make sure that they're painted up for our playthrough. And then what I'll do is I'll come back and do another video of the next 3. I think that's pretty fair, right? I think actually there's 2 more, I believe, because it's 5 in total. And I want to play each one so I get a full feel of the game. Don't want to tell you something that you guys don't want to hear. All right, so with that on there, this gives me the advantage here to kind of just work this in. And I'm trying to imitate a fantastic piece of art, which, you know, imitating art is not always the easiest thing to do. But leaving that metallic there and then being able to touch up certain things will really enhance this in a lot of ways. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to just kind of boom there, a little bit there. And I'm going to let that just sit, and then we'll come back to this in a bit. Next, I'm going to take corn red, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this hull, because in the picture, I'll show you in a minute, it's a very red hull. And all I want to do is I want to stay along the line here. I want to be careful. I don't want to hit any of the mechanisms here. I'm going to go over those windows a little bit because it goes up to there. And I'm just going to go nice and easy and keep my line. Just have a line there and just follow it. And that's all I'm doing here. There is a nice little break in the hull here, and all you want to do is just follow it across. That's all I'm going to do. Alright. And this red is going to really help pop this too, especially when we dull it down, because everything, you know, everything has this very used feel, you know. And I think that's one of the charming things about this, is that it's, you know, the 1920s, and yet it's a futuristic type of thing. Just so much amazing things. And getting underneath here, you want to be careful. You don't want to hit any of those legs, because we don't want to take anything away. So just getting that hull nice. I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll show you what we got next for you. Yeah, there we go. We got a lot going on here, folks, that I think you'll really enjoy when we get this all done. And I'm really excited to do a live solo playthrough of this. And you're going to need 3 automatons to do that. 1 for yourself, and then 2 that you will be facing. A blue and a black. And it's just, I mean, what else can I say? We'll see how it turns out, and you can be the judge for yourself. All right, folks? All right, so I'm going to finish this up. We're going to darken this up. We're going to make sure that this all dries properly, and then we'll be back with our next step, folks, as we continue on painting this. So now I'm going to use a Tabletop alloy. It's a layer paint. And what it's just going to do is it's going to point out certain things. Like we picked out some really nice gray tones on this. So now what I want to do is I just want to take this and like this hook here. Wow. Boom. Just let it pop a little bit. Okay. You have some cabling here. All right. Just use that to kind of pop that out a little bit. There's a little cabling that lays down here. Just go over it nice and easily. All right, and it really lets it pop. There's a little area in here with this gray ball that's in the front here. I'm just going to catch the edges here and let that pop all by itself. There we go. It doesn't have to do much, okay? There's a little area here. Just kind of lighten that up there. Maybe right there. A little bit over there. There's a little patch here. Another thing that you're going to want to do, and eventually I'm going to do this to these, is you can go down to Hobby Lobby and get some. You can scratch. They're rub-on numbers, and if you wanted to number these, it would be kind of cool if you got some small numbers and put a little bit of numberage there. That would kind of really help make that pop. You don't want to overdo this, so I'm just going to catch the edge here. All right, and catch this gun turret here. Just kind of make it a little bit different. That's all you need, is just a little. You don't want to overdo it. Like I can go over the top of this stack here, and maybe this little bit hatch here, nice and easily. Okay, boom. Take care of this hatch as well. I think that'll work real well. There we go. All right, it's just little subtle things that you want to do. If you want to hit those rivets there in the back, you can hit the rivets. Nah, I'm going to hit the little gasket back here. I think that'll help. Okay, there is a lower part to that gasket. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to hit the back of this cabling and make sure that I got that so it shines a bit. Okay, that works for me. And it's just little subtle things. Maybe right in the middle of these pistons. Each one of these pistons you can kind of hit. All right. So, you know, it really, this is where it really comes down to what your preferences are, what you feel would really shine here, and how you want to make this thing kind of stand out a little bit. Maybe you just take a little and just come over the top of this bar here. All right, there we go. Maybe I'll just, well, I want to do the inside of that cabling so I don't forget. Boom, boom, right in there. Really just make it your own, you know? You know how when they tell you when you're singing, make it your own? For the big boy here, okay? This is my ship, so I want it to look good. It's got to look good. I'm gonna do the turrets here. All right. I'm gonna come over. I'm gonna kiss these turrets a little bit. All right. And you're going to be able to do this with the plastic version as well. All right. The plastic version is going to be very high quality. I just decided to take my ironclad version and have some fun with it, and that's what I'm doing here. So boom here, boom in there. All right, I want to make sure that I get the other side too. All right, I want to get that cabling there. Maybe touch that a little bit there. Maybe these pieces here I can hit a little bit, just to kind of set off a little bit. All right, let's do that then, huh? Again, it's what you want to do. It's how you feel about your ship, you know, or your mech or whatever you want to call it. Okay, how is it going to work out for you? What's going to sell it for you? I want to hit the end of this flagstaff. Okay, maybe I just do the whole flagstaff, except for the flag, because the flag was red. All right, that'll stand out a little bit. There we go. Boom. There we go. All right, so it's really just what you want to do and how you want to bring this apart out. All right, so there we go. All right, so I'm going to put that one down. This one here I already messed around with. I really darkened it up, okay? And then I came back and I just touched a few things, you know? And just kind of just try to give it a little bit of my own touch here. So, you know, it's just not a solitary type of color scheme, that you have a little something that kind of brings it out a little bit. All right, so there we go. All right, so we're going to let those dry. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I'm taking some Vallejo dark blue, and I want to set, remember, I put some wash, and I also put a good amount of gray over the top of this. And all I want to do is I want to get the sea going here, okay? Because this thing is walking in the sea. And if you look at the picture, it's coming out of the seas. And you're going to see what we're going to do to try to really make it stand out a bit. And you could do this at home as well. But I want to set the pace with the nice dark blue. Even though the only time you're going to see a blue ocean is in the Caribbean or here in lovely Florida, because we do have some beautiful water, full of sharks, don't get me wrong, but beautiful. That's why they all come here. I mean, if I was a shark, I'd want to live where you could see real well, right? Oh, okay. Enough of my really bad humor. All right, so I'm going to finish this up, and then we're going to come back. We're going to let this dry for a bit, and then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly what we've got planned next. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to base these guys. So what I did is took some Elmer glue, and if you remember, I have this is a clear Elmer's glue. This really works well. I got this old beat up brush that I've been using. I got a layer of paint on here, and then I also sprayed it a bit. And then what I'm going to do is just take this flocking, and I am going to get it in there because we want it to really stick on there real well. Okay, and I always take the back end of my brush and kind of work it around, and then I just roll that on there real well. Okay, and I push down, and I make sure that I'm pretty generous with the glue so it really compacts in there real well. And you want to make sure that it really soaks in there and it holds up, because we're going to have to spray this later on, and I'll show you at the end of the video what I use to spray it down. Of course, I get glue all over myself, which doesn't help anything. And I'm just going to hit that. I keep on tapping that until I get it to where I want. I run my finger around the edge there. Boom. I like how that looks. All right. I'll let that dry a bit. But before I let it dry, I'll add a couple things in there, like these little brush, some brush in there. So I'll take these off. These are from Army Painter. They really just help make things look really cool if you're not doing like I just did and missing the whole thing. And I'll just push one there. Let's put another one there. In there. All right. You have varying sizes. I'll put one in the middle here. Whoops. Well, I'll let it decide where it wants to go. It wants to go there. And maybe we'll just throw one more bigger one in there. In the front here. Maybe right by that foot there. And there you go. I mean, that's all you're looking for. Right? And that's one auto mech done. So I'm going to do this other guy, and then we'll be back, and I'll show you how we finish the boat as well. All right, the next thing I took was some deep sky blue and a little bit of white, and I kind of just mixed it together here. And all I wanted to do is just get enough on here, and I'm just going to wipe it off. Yeah, all that wasted paint, right? But it's going to accomplish what I want it to do, and that's just kind of just put some waves in here a little bit. And we're going to just do a couple extra things. I just don't want the blue to just be stationary in there, so I'm just going to touch this in here a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit. And then I'm going to go over the edges here. There we go. And just make sure I get everything and just break it up a bit so it gives that kind of deep blue sea effect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and we're going to finish up this model, and we're going to be done with these guys. And I can't wait to show you how they turned out. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take I have a cotton ball here, and all I want to do is just kind of roll it up a little thicker in certain areas, and I just kind of want to stick it in by the feet of these, so it gives the illusion of it cutting through the water, as you can see. All right, and I'm going to just stick a little bit more glue here. I'm going to work it right in there. And all I want to do is just kind of, for that corner there, I just want to ball it up a bit and just stick it in there. And that way it gives that nice illusion of cutting through the water, which is what I'm trying to create here. I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up. So there you have it, the initial painting of the first 3 mechs. Had a lot of fun doing this. Oh my god. And you know, these beautiful sculpts are just so much fun to play around with and be creative with. And we're going to be doing the live play of this, but we'll talk more about that up top. The metal, just, you know, when you pick those up, you feel like you got something there, and I really like that. But the same techniques I showed you will work also for the plastic. So you know, take liberties, have some fun, do some things, and enhance your game. I know I did, and I had a great time doing it. And let's go up top and get my final thoughts and get on out of here. That was a lot of fun. Now, the one thing I didn't show you is that once you get them to where they are right now, make sure you put a good couple coats of clear coat on it, especially with that type of metal. You want it to seal in there so it doesn't scratch off. I had a lot of fun painting this, and I think it's just going to make the solo play even that much better and a lot more fun. So I hope you enjoyed this, and next let's do a solo play of Expedition. I can't say the word for crying out loud. Now, I'm on embargo till June 13th to kind of show you, to do a review on this. So hopefully I'll get the playthrough in, and then you'll see the review on top of it. So until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.